Hello viewers and welcome to a new CurrentMakers video. Today we are going to talk about storage on the Streamline series. I have used my Streamline boards in a number of videos and I mean for a start that is okay. The video you can see here, you have a programmer, that's the one in the back, and then you have an STM a Streamline MCU STM32F407 board in the front. Now, the STM 32F407 have a reasonable amount of flash built in, but that flash is actually not meant to store data. It has a very short lifespan if you keep flashing it. I think ST only guarantee you can flash it about 10,000 times, which is fine if you're just reprogramming it. You will have to use it for a long time to get up to 10,000. But if you were saying storing sensor data every second, then you will wear that flash out really quick. So we need alternatives. Now, one of the ideas about the Streamline is flexibility. That is a key word. We designed this system so you can have multiple MCUs depending on your needs for a specific project. You can have the programmer running in different modes. You can have it running as a DAP link or an ST link or even a Blackmagic. You can presumably also flash the J-Link on it using their tools, but that's Windows only, so I have not looked at that. So we needed an option for storage, and if you look at the documentation on the STM32 World Wiki, down on the Streamline, and you click on the headline here, Streamline, you will see some of the boards that we have. Now, the image up here is pretty much the same I have running here. But then we have other boards available. And if we go down here, you can see that currently we have, and they are available already, we are listing 3 storage devices here. We have an ST, a flash, and an EEPROM. And I actually have them here. So if we look at this, here we have the SD version. It's a little hard to do this the other way around, but it's got an SD slot over here, and you can simply slide in an SD card like that, and it's in. And this will give you up to, I mean, you can probably have 64 gigabyte. I know you can, because I have, this might even be, nope, this is a really old one, because I wanted to test it with the most crappy SD card I could find, and that's it. But I have tested these with 64 gig, really fast SD card, and it works fine. So you basically have the option of using SD cards for this. But we also have other options, and the next one is, and I did a couple of videos about that last week, they should be available already, is this one, which contains a flash chip. Now, this particular flash chip is 16 megabyte. It's 128 megabit. So it's well, it's not as big as a typical SD card, but it can store quite a lot. And contrary to the built-in flash on an STM32, these can be reprogrammed. I think this one is specified as about 100,000 times you can update this flash card. So this one should work pretty much forever. Now, one of the drawbacks with flash chips like this is that they operate per page. They operate in pages, so you cannot reprogram an individual byte on this. You will have to deal with the whole page, which is about 2 kilobyte. But I mean, it takes a little getting used to, but I have plenty of examples, so this is a good option. Now, the third option, which I actually received it late last week, is this one. This one contains something called an EEPROM. In fact, as you can see, it contains 4 EEPROMs. And originally that meant electrically erasable program-only memory. From program. Well, never mind. But it, contrary to the flash, these can be programmed or rechanged. Every byte can be changed at any given time. They are, however, quite a lot slower. The reason why they're slower is, and again, let's take it with speed. The SD card it can use SPI. You can solder some solder jumpers down here. It will work as SPI, but it can also do SDIO. So we are talking 40 megabit per second or something like that. It is really, really fast. Now, the flash card is using SPI, and that is also reasonably quick. It will run like, I think it was 20 megabit per second SPI rate on these, and they are quite quick. This, on the other hand, the EEPROM is much smaller and much slower. It uses I2C, and that is actually why we can have 4 chips on here on one I2C. These are made, I'll get back to that in a little while. These are made so they can actually be programmatically treated as one big chip. They are not very big. This whole board has about 512. So each of these are 128 kilobyte only. But they are very flexible, and that is and you can have a lot of them sharing the same I2C bus. So it is not irrelevant, this board. If it depends on what you need to use it for. If you have big amounts of data that you need to store, you go for an SD card. If you have a lot of sensor data that gets updated often, this is probably the way to go. And if you have like some regular updates, but not a massive amount of data, it could be just, but it could be just a few bytes, but you want to store them, a lot of them, and you want to update them regular. One of the benefits of this one is that it can be reflashed. This one, I think this one is actually ST Microelectronics, or not, but they make some, and they have a guaranteed you can flash them more than 1,000,000 times. These will never wear out. So let's look at the let's look a little bit on the documentation of this, and we have talked about the SD and flash in other videos, so I'm not going. This video I make because I just got the EEPROMs last week and have tested them quite thoroughly. Here we have a photo of the one I got, and you will see that what is happening is that it shows up actually as 8. Each of them show up as 2. So each of these will have 2 addresses in after each other. Each of those will be able to address 64 kilobyte. So one chip is 128 kilobyte, 256, 512 for all of them. So you can basically use one of these chips. You will just use 2 of the addresses. You could use any 2 you like, and then you could use it as one chip. But you can also, I'll cover that in another video, and I have actually covered it over on STM32 World, how you can span the chip over, because the I2C address is just part of the address you use to address them, and it's just 2 bits above it uses 17-bit for the internal address, and then 18 and 19 are actually going to be the I2C address, and that way you can just continue all the way up. So just a quick introduction of this bad boy, which is a storage EEPROM. The benefit of these is that they're simple to wire up because it's just an I2C bus, so 2 signals. And they can be rewritten. They don't need wear leveling or any of that jazz. You can program every byte in there more than 1,000,000 times. So I cannot imagine this one ever. And they have a guaranteed retention of 200 years. In 200 years, I won't be around, so I don't care if it breaks in 200 years. So it's as simple as that. So it's just 3 different options, and we are making this primarily to show how flexible Streamline really is. Just before I leave you, let's head over to CurrentMakers. And if we head over to CurrentMakers, go into Products, Streamline, you will see all these boards are readily available down here. Flash, SD card, EEPROM. So you can pretty much get whatever. Oh, we need to, that one actually have a rendering. We probably put it on before we had them in stock, so I didn't have time to make a photo of it. So that is about it. As usual, please do like and subscribe. This channel, the Streamline channel or the CurrentMakers channel, is quite new. We need more subscribers, so please do like and subscribe so you can follow these. We do YouTube have a feature where you can sort of share announcements, so collaboration, I believe they call it. So we are collaborating with the STM32 World channel. So if you are subscribed to the STM32 World channel, you might see these announcements over there as well. I don't really know how it works, so we are trying, and if you know better, please tell me how we should do this. I am willing to listen. We are beginners at this. Even though I have produced quite a lot of YouTube videos, I still consider myself a beginner when it comes to that. And it is a couple of small niche channels, and that is probably how it would always remain. So that's about it. As usual, have a wonderful rest of the day.